Welcome back to Carrow Road, 1-1 here. Highlights from Newcastle and Forest to follow, and our Italian football tonight. But John, before we rejoin Andy and Martin, let's have another look, shall we, at what appeared to be a valid penalty claim. Nice and slow. Blackmore.
It did well here. He just shielded the ball and then turned on the fella. I bet you Dave Stringer, if it had been the other end, the Norwich manager, he'd wanted a penalty for that.
He certainly put his leg in there.
If I'd have been the manager, I'd have wanted a penalty for that, that's for sure. I mean, it was a penalty, wasn't it? If you take the people's legs away from them, I think there's penalties.
Well, I think the rules of the game state that that's the case.
Well, I think so.
Yes, I think. But just thinking on Brian Robson, chasing everything in there, marshalling his side superbly.
But he's an example to everybody.
34 years of age,
brilliant,
come back from
brilliant.
every sort of problem that you could have as a footballer.
Just looks a little bit short of pace now, Robbo, at times, but never gives in, does he? What a great example, what a great skipper. Great fella to have on your side.
Mark Hughes, a handful as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he shields balls ever so well. He's probably as good as any player in the country with his back to goal. He holds them and he's strong as can be, you know. Strong as can be. And he just holds them in there, and you've got to win him off of him. If he gets good early support, he's a good player.
As Andy Gray was saying, if there was a criticism, it was perhaps that he didn't release the ball quickly enough, but he's doing that now.
I agreed with Andy about that, I really did. I think that was a fault of his, where he'd hold him in there and hold him, and people would make runs off of him, and he'd still shield the ball too long. He's now bringing other people into the play, and he's a good player.
Well, it's been fabulous entertainment so far here at Carrow Road. One apiece it is. Let's go back outside, shall we, and rejoin our commentary team, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Norwich City first out, anxious to get on with the job. Manchester United looking to beat Norwich for the first time in any cup tie since Norwich became a league club. They really have been something of a bogey to them. You go back to 1959, for example, when Norwich City were in the third division, and they put Manchester United out here 3-0. And of course Norwich that season went on to the semi-finals. And their other semi-final, much more recently of course, against Everton in 1989. Norwich restart the entertainment. Prior to that home defeat by Manchester City in their last game early in February, Norwich had won 4 in a row. Owen. There has been an air of authority really about Manchester United. Martin. Well, it's just curling it forward there, and you sense that the other Manchester United players feel they can get it anywhere. 10 yards either side of Lee Sharp, and he'll still reach it. It's Lee Martin with the cross. Ince. Header from Bruce. Norwich have a player down. It's a Sherwood. Robson. Now Bruce. Hughes trying to turn Colston. Sharp very nearly unsettling them again, and still he might, but he's been ruled guilty of pushing. I think it's a point that's been made before, but when you see Lee Sharp, he's filled out so much over the last year or so.
There didn't look too much wrong with that challenge either, Martin, just using his newfound strength really there.
And he's still only 19. And how pleased Manchester United are to have him for another 5 years.
That's as good a piece of business as Alex Ferguson has done for many a year.
Norwich did some good business when they got Tim Sherwood for £175,000 from Watford. Actually, they did offer Sherwood an apprenticeship when he left school, but Sherwood chose Watford on that occasion. Well, obviously they couldn't get a babysitter.
Listen, that's football's future you're looking at down there. And it looks the way his feet are going, he can't wait to get on there as well. I had to agree with John Bond at half-time, Martin, that this Manchester United team, for me, have got an air of authority, of inevitability about them, that they're going to win games now. When you go on a run like this, you do feel that no one's going to stop you.
He's played his part in that, hasn't he?
Yes, certainly. I mean, he's probably having his best spell ever as a Manchester United player. But the whole team, it's as if they're not accept defeat. The only victories will do. And that's a magnificent thing to have. And they do have that about them at the moment. And if you had to favour someone, or you were putting your life on someone, it would be Manchester United. But this FA Cup has thrown up a few surprises already.
There's a little game going on here, which John Moores has come across now to encourage Hughes to retreat. He's far enough away now, but maybe not now as contact is made. But Ryan Gunn got enough elevation. And Hughes is offside. I think I'm right in saying that Gunn had a couple of games with Aberdeen's reserves as an outfield player. He drew on that experience a moment or two ago. He was sold, of course, by Alec Ferguson to Norwich just before the then Aberdeen manager moved to Manchester United. And they met up very quickly after that, because Alec Ferguson's second game in charge of Manchester United was here at Carrow Road. It was a 0-0 draw. And it's been pointed out, hasn't it, that he's not gone away from here as a winner.
Looking slightly more relaxed in this cup run than last year's, isn't he?
Well, he's not surrounded by people asking him if he's going to get the sack, is he? Robson, well anticipated by Butterworth. Smith, closed down quickly by Irwin. That was ruled as a foul as well.
Maybe that's an example why he only played a couple of times as an outfield player.
Pallister. Smith. Gordon being forced across the pitch, and he was grateful in the end that Mark Bowen made himself available. Hughes. And there are 6 players up for Manchester United here. Sharp through the centre, guns come, and in the nick of time the goalkeeper got it.
But that's a wonderful run that Lee Sharp makes from wide inside the fullback, and if the ball's delivered well, you see Ian Culverhouse is left for dead again there. It's a wonderful run to be able to do that, Martin.
And a delightfully nudged pass by Brian McClure. Bowen showing that Norwich can pass it, but they've had to do it so often under pressure, as Manchester United have gone about their business in midfield, and all the midfield players were raiding in this attack. It needed Gunn to be absolutely sure in his timing, and he was. Difficult times these for goalkeepers, with the risk, of course, of a red card if they bring down an opponent. I do remember seeing Brian Gunn get sent off in a league game at Coventry at a time when Norwich were pushing for the First Division Championship a couple of seasons ago. Fleck. You do feel, as the game was closed down again, that Norwich are going to struggle to get the service that Fleck craves, and he certainly looked a player capable of winning the match for Norwich if they get enough of the ball.
Yes, he has, but that there was an example of what's been good about Manchester United when they haven't had the ball tonight, Martin. They haven't given Norwich an ounce of time. I said before the game, if they allowed Norwich to pass the ball out, they could pay for it. They haven't done that. Alex Ferguson's obviously done his homework, and he said to his players, you can't afford to give them time, and they haven't done.
Sherwood. Robson. This is great work from Manchester United. And still they can't stop Robson. Tigerish play from the FA Cup holders. Brian Robson at the heart of it. His contribution being recognised by the United supporters. Show. Here's Phillips, who is very right-footed, although he's playing on the left-hand side of midfield. You might remember he played for Coventry in the cup final at right back. Black. Our viewers in Scotland will remember, I'm sure, that Robert Fleck was twice in winning sides in the Skull Cup with Rangers. Bowen. Again, it had to be done hurriedly. Alex Ferguson did admit to me that he was considering changing the side to use Danny Wallace from the start. I think, having heard how well David White did here for Manchester City with his speed in the last match on this ground. Two United players are down. John Rules lets the play go on. Leclerc and Hughes both hurt. No free kick given against Norwich. Oh, Butterworth, and Ince was badly late then. That was a legacy of what had happened before, and United had felt that the referee hadn't recognised. It was a very irresponsible challenge by Ince. When play was eventually stopped, it was well away from that.
I think Paul Ince had a head of steam up there, and there was nothing stopping him going into the challenge, Martin.
Manchester United's only problem from the free kick was that so many of their players wanted to go for the ball. Norwich were far less conspicuous. Sharp. Smith has to touch it back in such a way that Gunn has a problem. Crook. Fleck was calling for it early. Crook couldn't find him. Martin. Holston. Doesn't seem to be a handball from this angle. Ian Crook's very much enjoying his new life up here in the countryside, really. As you can see, he's studying landscape gardening. Has one day off a week for that, and hopes to start a business when his playing days are over. And he said when he lived in London as a Spurs player, he had a very tiny garden then. And he's had more opportunity to think about a future career in East Anglia.
Oh, plenty countryside up here to work with as well, eh?
The Norwich City fans will have come to Carrow Road tonight from all over Norfolk. Robson. Gordon. Well, the tussle in midfield going Manchester United's way. Robson. In came Ince, got to the ball, there was a stud or two showing as well. He still can be very headstrong.
This is impressive stuff. It really is tower football at its very best from Manchester United at the moment. And really, Norwich must be wondering what's hitting them. They're not getting a second to dwell on the ball at all, Martin.
McClare. Yes, they're saying it's our FA Cup and you are not going to take it away from us.
What you have to admire about them as well, Martin, you would think away from home, it's 1-1, it's a late tackle from Brian McClare there, very late. But what you have to admire about United getting back to it is the fact that a lot of teams will be quite happy to come here and at 1-1 possibly sit back and think of taking them back to their own ground. United have wanted to win this game and are playing in that way.
Fleck was guilty of the foul that time. A crowd of 23,000 enjoying every minute of this. Robson. It's McClare through the middle. Sharp. Blackmore, who, like his good friend Mark Hughes, is capable of the spectacular. Owen kept it in play. For once Manchester United didn't have a player available. Hughes was just drawing breath after the effort that had been put in the last sustained attack. Norwich City, with just over 15 minutes gone in the second half, haven't really threatened since the interval.